this is after 2 weeks?
Yes, these were installed 2 weeks ago.
What are those little earwigs that
Yes.
in there?
Those are earwigs.
We don't worry about them?
They're vegetarians. I'm not
Okay.
concerned about them. So, you can see the frames are starting to yellow. These were all brand new. The queens have been released. Come here, girls. So we've got the whole center of this frame is capped brood. Same thing on this side, capped brood in the center. They're still building comb. There's some nectar in the corners. There's some pollen around the edges. This queen's doing great. I need to give them some more syrup so they can build some more comb.
When do you add the second story?
When the bees start building comb on the outer frames, it's time for a second box. If you give these bees a box right now, they'll tend to go straight up the middle and not finish the outer combs.
How long does that take relatively?
They usually finish the first box somewhere between 3 and 4 weeks. So these bees, I still need to give them some more syrup. They've only consumed about 1.5 gallons. It's been 2 weeks. Okay? But that's what it looks like. They're not highly defensive. They've got lots of work to do. They've got lots of babies to raise. Okay.
Even though you give them the sugar water, do they still go out and naturally pollinate?
Yes, they're collecting pollen, which is their protein source, and nectar, which is their carbohydrate. The reason we feed them syrup is to get as much comb built as soon as possible. After a couple of weeks, they're all old bees, and young bees are the best comb builders. So comb building slows down after a couple of weeks. So the more comb that's built early, the more room the queen will have to lay eggs, the bigger the population will be very quickly at the 5 to 6 weeks range, when all of the bees that you started with had died off. And what you're left with are the daughters of your queen. What you'll typically see is less and less activity as they're flying. I mean, when they get older, as there's fewer and fewer bees keeping more and more brood warm. You understand how that works? Very quickly, it's going to be a few old bees keeping all the brood warm. When the brood starts to emerge, the old bees will become foragers, and you'll have a box full of young bees. And when the foragers die off, you'll have a box full of young bees that are just becoming foragers, and the population will even out, and you'll have an even distribution of young bees and older bees.
Rather than 2 days, making a transformation, wait 3 days?
You can wait 3 days, sure, but the sooner the better. Give it 2 days. Give them the
Yeah, I'm not going to be in town.
take out the cork, put in the candy. 3 days, 1 day doesn't make that much of a difference. But we're trying to get the queen in the hive laying as soon as possible, because every day you stall is 1 day longer in the aging of the bees. Okay, so we want to get everything started as fast as possible. If you start a hive with a box full of old bees, 3 weeks later, all those bees could be dead if all the bees are too old. They only live 6 weeks. So that's why we want to get it going as fast as possible. Back here?
Sorry, yeah. If you're not going to be there, it's a brand new box.
Yes?
You're going to be leaving. You don't have 2 days. There's like an alternative.
You can go ahead and put the candy in. There's a 1% chance the bees will take off.
And should I cap the entrance with grass?
If you're not going to be around, I would plug it for the first night. Yeah. Don't plug it tight. The grass will dry up and the bees can remove it. Okay?
And maybe one of us could help you.
All right?
Are you going to load that up on your website?
Yes, you can. Thank you.